Good morning, afternoon, or evening, as the case may be, and welcome to the fifth day of SpeedGaming Live. I'm Drosy1. I'm here with Mr. Cools. How are you doing today?
You know, I'm doing great. When you have a day filled with randomizers, whether it's Zelda, Mega Man, Final Fantasy, it's impossible to have a good day. And to thank you to all the Veterans Day or Remembrance Days, depending on your country, I hope everybody's not working and having a good time.
And for people who are not working at the moment, we have fcoughlin, otherwise known as Fred, on the left, and asazas on the right. Fred is best known in the rando community actually as the developer of the Super Mario 3 and Zelda 1 randomizers, but he is also a pretty serious Zelda 3 rando player. Asazas, meanwhile, is the winner of the Espanol qualifiers here, so he automatically got one of the top seeds. That said, Yagamoth has already run away with their division at a perfect 4-0, so all the other runners in the division are just duking it out for the second seed and the right to advance to brackets. And by the way, we have just been requested to let you know that we are now
Live. We are live.
The previous race was a restream, but this race is happening live with the customary 20-minute delay.
Live and in person. Keep your eyes on the webcams below, because these facial expressions that we've seen throughout have been fantastic.
Yeah, and we should be getting underway momentarily. The race did start 20 minutes ago. And as you're probably aware by now, the mode is open boots. So regular open seed, Zelda's already rescued, and as you can see on the runner's screens, they already have boots. Gotta go fast.
And the racers at this point, they're all the best of the best. So you know we're going to get some jet seeds, some speed strats, all the boot strats. So what are you hoping for, Drosy, to see our racers have to hurdle over?
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing a hammer go mode. It's something you don't see too often, and it's always kind of interesting because hammer locks so many locations, and runners still seem to wind up going all over the place in a hammer go mode seed.
In my commentary yesterday, I was correct in shooting for, or hoping for, a sword go mode. I think it was like 50 minutes before we got our first sword. So for this one, you're going hammer. We've seen Ice Rod too many times.
So here we're seeing one special thing about the open boots opening, that Bonk Rocks is Sphere 1, and runners will check it straight out of Sanctuary. And we get a map check that is red and blue pendants in Hera and Eastern, and a 5-6 crystal on Desert. Oh, and despite having the boots, Fred is not interested in checking Lumberjack.
And bombs on the crab. That's very convenient.
Yeah, nice to add to the stock we got coming out of Sanctuary.
It was a good gamble to make. Lumberjack's not anything fancy.
So now both of our runners will converge on Kakariko.
And it looks like Fred's just focused on that item density. Blind's Hut. The hype cave of the overworld.
Ooh. So we got ether in a bottle. And some junk.
Blue rupees 4 days. Blue rupees on Lumberjack, blue rupees in the hut, and blue rupees in the chest.
Yeah, we're gonna be tight, though, for Bottle Vendor, because I think there are only 20 rupees in Cackwell. And there's our first sword, so we're not gonna have a 50-minute sword this time. And we got a glove and a cape. Okay, we can afford Bottle Vendor now.
And the Power Glove. Kakariko's being nice to us. Blue bombs. This is the blue seed.
Yeah, and Fred expressing how he feels about being given more bombs. Didn't quite get the chicken glitch.
Ooh, easy Moon Pearl.
At this rate, I don't think it's going to be Hammer Go mode. I think we're probably more likely to see Hammer in the next 2 minutes and have 5-minute Dark World access.
Yeah. And I know everybody's rooting for the Ped Seed.
Fred is definitely disappointed in the NPCs today.
Bomb them all. We're going to get our standard library checks.
So library's another Sphere 1 check here.
Just money. We're getting just that flirtatious vibe of a Jet Seed. We got an early Moon Pearl. Started out with boots. We got a glove and a sword. And now it's starting to take it all away.
And he doesn't want to charge through Race Game for a heart container, even at this early point. Hey, 10 seconds is 10 seconds, right?
10 seconds is 10 seconds. Especially with the races we've seen that have been almost ties or 4 seconds apart.
And with that early glove, Fred is totally understandably going to back of escape.
Full of love for those blue items. More bombs.
Oh, and that looked like it was Sankheart.
We're going to get the water pole. We're getting different checks from both sides. You love to see it. Master Sword. Still being gracious.
Hey, so now take bets on our Dark World access. We are a lamp away from Aga and a hammer away from regular Dark World access.
I didn't want to jinx it, but I wanted to say it earlier. I think bows are going to be our progression holdup. We're following a pattern now. We're both going to the Landmola's cave.
Mini Moldorm.
We're hoping for a bow holdup.
Oh, and Fred using good B strats. You don't see this too often, but it's pretty cool when they do, and it nicely gets the bottle empty so that when you hit Waterfall Cave, you have an empty bottle to see what the fairy will fill it with.
Absolutely. Too bad it's still a junk cave, though.
And again, Fred bombing NPCs. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that.
Well, with getting all the bomb drops that we are, he's got them to spare. Ice Rod Cave, just a piece of heart. back to Sanctuary with the boots. We're going right.
So let's talk about the stakes for these runners. This is actually Asazas' last race in the group. He is currently 1-2, so he absolutely needs to win here to have any chance. And even then, he needs Fred and Big Dunka to both wind up 2-2 as well, that neither of them can go 3-1. And then there'd be a three-way tie and he'd have a chance at a tiebreaker. But he basically needs a lot of breaks at this point. Whereas
pressure's on.
Fred, while he's 0-1, that one loss was to Yagamoth, who swept the group, so that doesn't matter as much. So if he just wins all his remaining races, he will clinch the second seed.
fcoughlin. Fred doing the fancy flippers, the water walking. Now he's doing the fake flippers, making it all look easy. Bombing the hobo, the disrespect.
And I'm sure Quick Swap is making, bombing NPC. I'm sure he's going to bomb Uncle, too, when he sees what Asazas just found there.
The single arrow. The continued disrespect. Waterfall and Zora check. Not enough money for our actual Zora unless we get some rupee in the waterfall.
And Asazas is taking us to the front of Escape, which, in open mode, it's interesting. You don't see the check that often. Oh, Fred's not going to try filling his bottle. Interesting. But yeah, a lot of runners put off the front of Escape in open mode. So it's a bit unusual that Asazas is going here within 10 minutes. But if there's something useful here, and we haven't seen too many useful things yet, this could make a difference.
It's going to be that Galaxy Brain play.
Of course, the Master Sword does make this a lot easier to do.
Fred going back for that lumberjack check to see the bloopy and the face of disappointment.
Is he going to bomb the lumberjacks?
Not today. He's down to 7. Must not be enough. He is going up the mountain, though.
Yeah, not too much you can do here without either the mirror or the hook shot. And of course, it's out of logic without either the lamp or the flute. But he'll get the old man item and he'll see whatever's in Spec Rock.
Galaxy Brain play. There's the mirror.
And for all that, he didn't even need to set up the Death Warp since he just got the mirror. You could see he's kind of chuckling, realizing that himself.
Just gonna fully clear it, do the Dark Cross. We're about to get our gift from Grandpa. More love, fitting. But only just a little bit. Grandpa doesn't love you that much. And with the mirror, typically that means the lamp isn't far behind. Oh, Fred. He's gonna bomb that ledge now.
He forgot to go inside. Ooh, we get a blue mail in Dark Cross. Nice.
Master Sword, blue mail. The blue theme's sticking with it. It's one of those things that's just nice to have. The earlier, the better.
But yeah, that front of Escape play is going to pay off for Asazas because when he goes up Death Mountain, he can at least also get a couple of quick checks off of Hera. It's a pendant, so probably hoping you find the 2 items quickly and can then leave. But it's also a pretty quick dungeon, so you usually go in there even when it's a pendant to check the items.
Fred checking Sasha's closet, as well as Asazas. Simultaneous checks, you'll love to see it.
More health.
Not hiding anything good back there.
So now we're going to Eastern. Eastern and Aegina are really our final Sphere 1 checks. So if it's not in either of those places, gotta follow that mirror to Tower of Hera, except that, right, Death Mountain still isn't actually in logic.
And you gotta wonder how many bombs and arrow chests we have left at this point.
I think we're probably most likely to see a lamp either here or Aegina, but we could get a hammer or Titan's Mitts or Dark World access.
Easy big key.
Oh, right, and Zora's in logic with that glove, and we haven't had Zora money yet.
Nope.
That could be a problem.
I love when the runners are in the same dungeons at roughly the same times, just so you can see the difference in pathing and routing and execution. Very exciting. And neither runner has done the houlihan, which is an option which would get us there right now.
That is true. That glove makes it even easier. You can just bomb yourself into the back of Escape and houlihan that way straight out of Sanctuary.
Ooh, hammer. Big
okay,
brain
there's our Dark World access. That also means Aga 1 is out of the picture for this seed.
And flippers. This was it.
Now that's interesting. Getting Mirror, Hammer, and Flippers in rapid succession opens the front half of Swamp.
But with getting the hammer and the flippers, having the glove and Moon Pearl already, how long do you think that's going to take Fred away from getting that mirror?
I mean, the mirror... Okay, and there's our other 5, 6 in Skull Woods and our Green Pendant and Turtle Rock, so we might not even need the Ice Rod this seed. Yeah, it could be a while before Fred finds the mirror, as you were saying.
Fairy in a bottle? Ah, there's my hopes for the bow mode. This is going to be a Jet Seed world record. Here we go. Link to the Past Randomizer.
Yeah. I mean, there's all the stuff that isn't technically in logic without the lamp, but who needs a lamp? Especially when you're these runners.
Pendant GR is making it too easy on all these runners.
Looks like Fred's going to CAC portal. Whoa, French Vanilla Flute.
French Vanilla. Don't bother digging for it. Just take it. K45. The routing is fantastic. He's just burning through these.
Yeah, though, in this direction, he's just gonna do dig game, and then he'll probably mirror and go up and activate the flute. So it makes me wonder what Fred's gonna discover in Skull Woods and Village of Outcasts area. With that hammer, we know we can full clear thieves.
How many digs does it take to get to the center of your item? Let's find out.
Asazas just with all the checks.
Galaxy Brain. Very efficient.
And it works out well because, well, even better because he can just walk up there now, but even if not, he could have just mirrored. So he'll just work in the Smith chain on his way up to Outcasts.
Not even going to take him on a very long trip.
Well, Fred pulls the book. Interesting. Now, we know from Asazas' side that that's not needed for desert. We can get in there with the flute and the mitts. But maybe there's something on a tablet.
Hammer Peg's just a red rupee, nothing special. We're going to do our reunion for our bread chefs. See what they got for us. And then fluting and mirroring to desert could make this purple chest pretty efficient as well.
So just another shield there on Bumper Ledge.
With that cape early, getting that check out of the way, I think that's going to be more beneficial for Fred. He's not going to have that linger. Really, the first mistake you see, mirroring into the shrub.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be a mirror bonk. But Asazas has decided that he's going to complete Smith Chain here.
Salutes in chat.
Which is a little bit unfortunate just because we know where that book is, and if he had decided to do Village of Outcast Skull Woods and then go back for the purple chest, he could have worked in a Bombos check.
Fred is going around town and Thieves Town. Love from the quiet guy.
So that was only one item in the front.
Not doing us any favors. He's got the hammer though. We finally have Zora money on Asaza's side. Choosing not to go into Thieves Town just yet.
That might even be a vanilla 300 rupees that Asazas found.
Vanilla, French vanilla everywhere. Is this randomized?
In certain other games, we'd blame Fred if it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Bomb it. You know you want to, Fred. Both runners going through Thieves Town. Master Sword, Fighter Sword, Bow, doesn't matter. Blind's always going to be that 9 hits. Running on that script, so this will be easy, especially with the amount of hearts that we have already. So this will be a breeze.
And the cape, just in case. But yeah, Asazas definitely has the leg up at the moment, since they're now in the same dungeon, and he's just gotten so many more checks that have paid off.
Galaxy Brain plays. Talk about all those breaks he was needing. Did he burn those already?
Of course, the key's there, so we now have to check the big chest.
It's not too much of a detour. And just some blueberries.
I had a seed the other day where there were 3 items in the front and the 4th item was in the attic, and so the runners just skipped the basement checks. Something you hardly ever see.
So cane, hookshot, those could be our last location items. Fire rod. But we have enough going for us that we're going to be busy for a while.
Okay, gets the second phase more or less on script there.
Made it look easy.
And blind down.
So where does Fred go from here?
I mean, I guess he could do pod, but he doesn't have the bow yet. I would think Southside Dark World, where we know all the items are, would be his best shot.
Bomb shop. Asazas doing his blind fight right now. See how with the script he goes. Fred thankfully is going south. Going to pick up his mitts. Get the other progression items that he hasn't gotten yet. Make this a little bit more even.
But he doesn't have the mirror.
Another quick blind.
Oh yes, he likes to spell out high here.
And he's still going.
Well, you can't finish before you spell high.
Hey Fred, your commentary and your Twitch chat says hello.
So he is going to grab Jeremiah here.
What do you spell when the dig game lasts longer than high? Exclamation point? Question mark? Sad
Can't
face?
remember. I've seen him put in another letter, but I don't know. Exclamation points?
Fred getting our French vanilla flute.
Why are you bombing Stumpy for actually giving you something useful?
You know how bullies work. When they bully other people, they're really just bullying themselves. He's mad he didn't check it earlier.
I mean, still sub half-hour flute.
Master sword. Both mitts. Flippers. Moon pearl.
But that combined with the mirror is our logical Tower of Hera access.
Fred going through our actual pretty hype cave. And he's going back to Sanctuary, so you have to think he's still not going to do those Zelda checks.
And with the flippers, I would expect Asazas to do Catfish and Zora after this.
Activating the flute. Salutes again in chat.
Yeah, Asazas has just a really great route here. He can do Catfish and Zora, and then, well, with the flute, it's probably easier to save quit anyway rather than march down to pod. You can just flute to 5.
It really started with that mirror, letting him route so efficiently. I think that's the main difference between these two routes and these two runners.
Absolutely, and as we said at the time, you know, early front of escape is not something you see many runners do in open mode, and today it's paid off big time. But Fred is going to give us our first look at the Mire area.
Mire Shed, Mire Medallion, and then our desert checks.
But can't do... Was that Quake, it looked like? can't do checkerboard without that mirror.
Not even the good boomerang. The disrespect.
Chat saying ether. I guess my head was tilted 90 degrees.
You know, I've heard it both ways.
Oh, so asazas is going right with the hammer now. We can do basically everything light and dark except for the 3 non-bonkable chests in Hookshot Cave.
The reverse grandpa, where he's going to get shown that he's not loved that much, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, chat pointing out that Asazas' tracker is showing the mushroom. I didn't notice him getting that, did you?
I did not. With runners of these calibers, if he had, you would have thought that he would have turned it in when he was by Witch's Hut.
And unfortunately for us, the tracker is actually on SpeedGaming Espanol, so he's not here in chat to let us know where he found it.
Pay the monkey, get some checks. It's also very enjoyable to see the divergence between the two paths just from that mirror.
Yeah, and I fully expect to see a full clear of pod from Fred here.
Absolutely.
No reason not to. I love that crazy glitch that you just saw from Fred where with the hammer you can get the key out from under the pot without actually breaking the pot.
But he bombs everybody else, keeps the pot intact.
Well, it's a valuable pot.
We're getting a Turtle Rock check after our little troll Hera.
I was just thinking something could very easily be on a tablet, but we're not going to see it because Fred doesn't have the mirror and Asazas doesn't have the book.
Bombos. Dark Mountain checks. Fred still going through pod. So, Drosy, what can be on PED from here?
Not Bombos. Not either of the rods or Samaria. I guess we could still have Hookshot on Ped, but Ped is on life support.
I think that is it. Oh, no, that is not it. Hookshot retrieved.
So I think we can officially declare Ped defunct for this seed.
It's probably just going to be bombs anyways, which we may see Fred get in spite. Fred is making these dark rooms look easy.
But given everything Asazas has found, there's very little Fred might find in Pod. He could get Samaria or the Fire Rod, and that's really about it.
One of the medallions.
Well, if Maya really is ether, as chat was saying, and it is, but our tracker's gotten it backwards.
Fixed.
There we go. Yeah, so they don't need any more medallions. TR is actually dead because the two Go Mode items we need are Fire Rod and Cane of Samaria.
Ooh, there's our lamp and hookshot cave. What's beyond a galaxy brain?
Wow, Azaza's just
God
coming up
mode
with...
rando seed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, chat reminding us, yes, we could have Fire Rod and Turtle Rock. That's the only reason we could potentially need to go in there.
I'd like Fred to make more book checks so we can know if those are going to be a waste of time, because that's the only kind of differential that we have here.
Well, and we just got the shovel too, so might see that at some point.
And it's going to be a dramatically long time before we can even get those checks, because Fred doesn't have the mirror.
I mean, what I'd hate to see, but what I'm afraid to see, is Asazas winning and Fred still hasn't found the mirror.
So we gotta hope for a last location Fire Rod for Asaza. And is that Turtle Rock?
Well, as long as Bombos doesn't show up, we don't have to worry about that. Though that also means we can't do Ice Palace because we need either Bombos or Fire Rod to get into Ice Palace. But with that hookshot, Swamp is now full clearable.
Nothing on Desert Ledge. And for those just tuning in, our biggest divergence was the mirror, which was in Zelda's cell. Easy big key in Desert. Fred, loving those dark rooms, wanting to live there.
Another quality of life improvement from open boots. You don't have to worry about Desert being boots locked.
Yep. And Asaza's being so good with those quick swaps. We still haven't had a full menu check to confirm mushroom or not. But I'm pretty sure we'd have that mistracked. No mushroom.
And by the way, that was pretty impressive on Fred's part, doing those dark rooms without the Fire Rod or anything, because getting by those turbines with no light whatsoever is no easy task.
Fantastic.
So what's Helma giving us?
And a very streamlined Helmasaur. He's giving us that crystal.
So both runners will be at their second crystals right around the same time.
Lanmo doing some short hops, being a little trolly.
Doing some NMG strats here.
And just giving the map. No mirror pod. Doesn't feel good. Fred gonna check pyramid.
And then he'll probably wind up in the desert area because that's his only remaining full clearable dungeon.
And I don't think he'd check catfish. He hasn't done Zora.
But he can't combine them without the mirror.
Exactly. But it looks like he is heading to make an orphan. That Zora check is going to be isolated.
I wonder if he's thinking mirror at catfish.
Galaxy Brain plays. Kana Samaria, desert checks.
Wow. So we are now Fire Rod from Go mode on Asazas' side.
He is truly doing no wrong, and it is incredible.
And while he lost his mirror portal, he can flute right back to 6 and do Meyer. But it looks like he's doing pod first.
And it's really not that much of a time loss for Fred, because you don't expect either of them to be doing Eastern, with or without the mirror.
And also, he's probably hoping he can Go mode Meyer later.
So I've gone from like a 55-minute swordless run yesterday to a 38-minute just needing Fire Rod Go mode.
So the only thing Fred could be doing here is Spike Cave.
Thinking about it.
And since the hookshot was on the right side of Death Mountain, we know that the mirror completely locks East Death Mountain.
Fred had that flex on that pot. Asazas picked it up, threw it. So at this point I'm hoping that Fire Rod is on Turtle Rock. It's going to be a last location. It's really going to sync us up. It's going to be the time save that Fred needs.
I mean, I hope Fred remembers that he still hasn't done the front of escape, because 40 minutes in, it's easy to forget some Sphere 1 checks that you haven't yet done. And he's doing desert now. He will find that Cane of Samaria, though.
Yep.
Which will probably take him into Misery Mire afterwards. So it's kind of funny because we're going to see both runners around the same time get their third crystals. It'll be the same 3 crystals, and Asazas very clearly has a lead.
Order, yeah. Asazas was doing desert while Fred was doing pod. Now it's the other way around.
Yeah, chat also reminding us that that Fire Rod could easily be on a tablet, and neither of our runners has that combination of book and mirror to be able to check either of them.
Fred needs the mirror, which I don't expect him to check anytime soon, really. Asaza needs that book.
And he's probably not particularly eager to go into Skull Woods without the fire rod, especially since he's done all the Village of Outcasts and other North Side Dark World checks already.
The adrenaline junkie, bomb bridge. No sweat, no fear, first try. Galaxy Brain.
So here's the... Oh, he's preemptively bombing Aegina.
Straight up bully.
And one more for good luck. Why don't you talk to Aegina and have him tell us about the jazz hand guys?
Flute's going to say a lot about Fred's plan from here. Dipping Meyer.
Well, we know what's on your mind.
The mirror.
Are we gonna get a burb toss, or will he bomb the burb as well?
We deserve the burb toss. Fred's going to be the man that satisfies.
Earlier this week in this tournament, I saw a runner hammer the burb.
Ooh.
Crude but effective.
You don't see it often, but I did enjoy it.
And asazas going through pod basement a lot faster when you have the lamp and can see what you're doing.
Fred, though, really didn't do that slow. He sped through it.
So we don't have a Godmire. That's good news for Fred if asazas winds up coming here in go mode.
And asazas having a little bit more trouble with Helmasaur than Fred did. But still, both made that dungeon look very easy.
So what do you think? Asazas to Swamp next?
With his Galaxy Brain plays, he's going to grab that book, do his tablets, find exactly what he needs.
I don't think he's going to suddenly run to Skull Woods with 2 clearable crystal dungeons. Yep, looks like a swamp play. Makes sense. 6 items here.
This is the opposite of a Godmire.
Well, Fred didn't do cutscene chest, right?
Not yet.
So... If there isn't an item on Vidi, that means that there is one in cutscene chest. Oh, chat reminding us, Fred has no fire source. He can't do cutscene chest or even compass chest. But he's going to give us a lesson in Dark Mire, that is one of the hardest dark rooms in the game, and he just made it look easy.
Still, Pod, Meyer. Still throwing those bombs, though.
Oh, right, and the lack of a fire source, of course. Just registered. Of course, Fred couldn't finish Desert either. And we still don't even know where Fire Rod is, so for all we know,
Dude knows.
Lamp is the only fire source he could get, and he'll have to get the mirror so he can go to East Death Mountain, so he can get the hookshot, so he can get the lamp out of Hookshot Cave.
He definitely has a path in front of him.
But I think he's pretty much out of locations at this point, apart from the front of escape. So, quality of life improvements just now on both runners' sides. Fred gets the half magic, and Asazas gets the red mail.
And Diver Down is one of my favorite newer tricks that we've learned. It's so convenient, totally breaks the dungeon.
Hey, and there's
and rewarded.
Tempered. Makes the Argus fight much easier.
I think Fred's on his way to salvation. The bombs are incoming. We got nothing good coming from Uncle.
But I think this is a literal last location, at least in terms of what's in logic. Or, no, he didn't do Zora, actually, so it'll be a next to last location.
Tempered hookshot makes that so easy. And I keep referencing back, but the abilities of these runners, I think we're going to find Fred get his stride here.
Yeah, I think overall Fred has the better execution, so he will be able to slowly make up time once he gets this mirror. Will it be enough? I don't know.
Execution versus universal brain plays. So can we play a new game? How many bombs is Fred gonna lay when he picks up that mirror?
Too bad Zelda's not in her cell, so he can't bomb Zelda for it.
I'm betting 5.
I've certainly seen on Ped Seeds he will put up some nice bomb decorations on the pedestal before pulling it. So we haven't, I mean, apart from that red mail, which is nice but hardly necessary, we haven't really seen anything
0
useful in
bombs.
Swamp.
I lost. But I hope we got a clip and some mouth readers for Fred's commentary when he picked that up.
So he'll grab his blue mail now.
The Darkroom Champion, still at it.
I was just thinking, we have a bit of a variation on a theme today. Usually we see ice rod hunts. Today it's fire rod hunt.
So last locationing mirror, Fred has to feel behind. I think we're in for a treat on his desperation checks.
I mean, at least we know he's gonna get the hook shot and lamp while he's up here, and we will see that ether check finally. Meanwhile, Asazas will show us what is lamp locked in Meyer.
And he's not going to have a good time. This Meyer was awful. Oh, okay, that is fantastic news. Fire rod on the tablet.
Wow. And he doesn't know that Asazas doesn't have that book because he doesn't want to go into Skull Woods without the fire rod.
Clip that. Make Fred's face the new emote in chat. This is what you want to see.
He's going straight for Moth, but he ditched Death Mountain.
Oh, hook shot.
Which is where the hook shot is. If he had just finished Death Mountain...
With the flute, though, it's not
he'd be in go mode.
Far of a check.
No, but given the access, you have to climb the mountain first and then loop around a couple of times. I mean, I guess you just go straight down through Spiral Cave and get the hook shot right there, and then that's go mode. So he was really probably 15 seconds away from go mode and didn't do it.
And just like that, we have a race. And this is where your execution versus your...
Yeah, both of these runners are going to need to climb Death Mountain again to get their go mode. And Fred now never needs to see the left side of Meyer. Except that he doesn't know that. The
half magic
problem
fire rod.
is, with that fire rod, Fred's probably now gone a full clear Ice Palace.
And you have to know that Asazas is getting those time saves by having the hook shot, but he is checking those fire source checks that Fred couldn't.
And so now the question is, what's he gonna do next? This is his last crystal that he can get once he gets to Vitreous. So...
no love for Ped.
Just for good measure, I see.
Drosy, carry us for just a second. I'll be right back.
So yeah, I was going to say, Asazas basically has to start dipping pendant dungeons here, because once he finishes Vitreous off, that's the last crystal he can get. So the question is then just, what order does he try dipping pendant dungeons? I'm worried he might do Eastern and Hera first because he can clear both of them. And of course, if he goes up to Hera without the book, that'll mean yet another Death Mountain climb for him, ultimately. And as expected, Fred is now doing a full clear of ice. Fortunately, with the moderately new icebreaker glitch. This is a lot easier than it was when you had to take the Ice Palace bomb jump, but it's still annoying. And nice tempered spins there from asazas on Vitreous. 8 arrows to the big eye, and crystal number 5.
And that half magic is a treat.
Now,
Half
given
magic, red mail, tempered sword. He's looking beefy.
Now, what I'm worried about in terms of Fred abandoning Death Mountain there is he's probably going to do Desert and then Pyramid Fairy.
Easy icebreaker right here. Oh, commentary's curse. Minimal delay. Fred through it.
You just kind of hope you get all your 3 items early and can go down to Cold Stare. I forget, was Compass Chest an item? I don't think so. I think we've only found one.
Big chest check. And we know this pyramid ledge isn't anything.
So you pretty much have to do Iced Tea Room because you don't want to orphan something.
Soon we're going to see a shovel check. And we know we have the shovel, but we still don't have the mushroom. And just $20.
So Cold Stare will have our final item, but we know that final item isn't going to be anything useful.
And is this going to be our Skull Woods dip? It is. But that still doesn't mean he's going to go straight to that pedestal. Or that tablet.
You mean to the Ether Tablet?
Yep.
And once again, we're going to be even on the crystal counts at 5.
And we are in no mode as well.
Nice Master Sword, Fire Rod, Cold Stare strats. The half magic certainly helping.
Just gonna say that. All the jukes, all the dodges. And our bombos.
And there's that book for Asazas. The good news about Fred and the Bombos is that if he makes it as far as TR, hopefully he will have done Spiral Cave and gotten his Go mode.
Is this going to take him to Turtle Rock, though? Well, and his East Death Mountain, he'll get that hook shot and no.
Oh, he is going back to Death Mountain. Nice. Okay. I was afraid he'd finish off Desert and then do Pyramid Fairy.
We've been talking about Fred's execution as he's just getting trolled by all the cabbage.
Sometimes you just can't help it.
And Asaza's doing his tablet checks.
Right, so they're gonna hit Go Mode very close to each other, at which point Asazas will have Go Mode Ice and the back of Skull Woods. Fred will have Go Mode Swamp in the back of Desert. Oh, and Fred is not immediately going to... oh, no, he was just seeing what's on the island, so he is going into Spiral Cave. He will have his Go Mode.
Dead Rock's gonna Dead Rock.
And it's really just which runner can do a dungeon and a half in Go Mode faster. But we've got a race on our hands.
I'm still enjoying Fred's facial expressions.
Yeah, so that was about 103.52 Go Mode for Fred. And this will be Go Mode maybe 20 seconds later for Asazas. And they have completely different dungeons to do.
You love to see it. I cannot wait to see their time differential once they sync up at the tower.
Yeah, I really don't even know. I mean, they're each doing their half dungeon, and then which is faster, Go Mode Ice or Go Mode Swamp? I don't even know.
I'm leaning towards Icebreaker, really just cutting that time in less than half.
Oh yeah, Chad also pointing out that we have to hope Fred checks the sunken chests and diver down room when he goes through Swamp. A lot of runners do because they're staring you in the face, but if he doesn't get tempered, that we haven't seen silvers, that's a huge advantage to Asazas when it comes time for Ganon.
Neither one of us have silvers.
And Fred's getting a much faster Landmo fight than Asazas did because he has that Fire Rod.
Yeah. And we have a male difference too, but with runners of these caliber, that's not going to make any time difference.
I just cursed Fred by saying faster fight and took him 3 cycles anyway.
Wham bam. Goodbye. Almost simultaneous crystals.
Okay, Fred's tracker finally caught up with Ice Palace, so we can see his 6 crystals. Going to Swamp. Asazas will mirror, flute to 8.
Okay, start the time now. As soon as they enter the door, we'll answer our questions. Which one's faster?
Of course, I think Asazas will go in first just because Fred has to pull down. So Asazas in at 106.52. Fred in at 107.10. Chat saying Go Mode Ice is faster than Go Mode Swamp. That's probably true. And Icebreaker probably saves you more time than Diver Down, too.
And we got to keep an eye on this tempered chest, too.
Right, it's a 2-second check, but it'll save Fred 2 minutes when it comes to Ganon.
And when we're talking about our tower climb, you have to hope for a tile room. But with Asazas' Galaxy Brain plays, I don't think that's going to be in contention.
Oh, and Asazas is having a worse time of Icebreaker than Fred did.
The facial expressions.
Oh, wow, I've never seen that. He half-clipped the wall and then didn't make it. Third time.
Third time lucky.
Fred going for Diver Down. Will he open the chest?
I'm sure he will. My boy.
There we go. He's certainly a bit excited and relieved, it looks like.
We are cutting it darn close to simultaneous boss fights.
Yeah.
And then a simultaneous tower climb from different towers from 2 totally different paths and routes.
Yeah, this is amazing.
This is rando.
It's also about time to say that once one of these runners grabs their 7th crystal, we will have a little game we like to play. Mr. Quills, would you like to tell our chat about this game?
The first one to enter the tower sets the numbers for the chest on which big key is in. 1 through 23.
22.
22.
And wow, this is almost simultaneous. Yes, this is crazy.
Sync. This is spectacular. 2 totally different routes, totally different paths of progression, simultaneous final bosses going to the tower at the exact same time. Put your numbers in chat.
What's your guess here?
I'm going for tile room.
Oh, and to address chat, it's not that Swamp was faster, it's that Asazas had trouble with Icebreaker. And just enough trouble to let Fred catch up and tie it, and whoever gets dead-rocked less and hit by fewer cabbages is gonna go in first.
Dead even on my screen. Here's another path differential. Taking the portal down.
That was simultaneous hook shots. Did Asazas open the TR portal? I think he did. Because that's the thing. Fred never opened the TR portal. So it would be a waste of time for him to do that now.
And he's not going to check these. Okay, this goes into Fred's execution. He is going to check these. He must be looking for silvers.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to when it's right on the way. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that this is going to cost him a very important 5 seconds. So we will be going by Asazas for the big key count.
If you are not on your edge of the seat, I have no idea what you're doing. This is fantastic. Asazas starting off right.
Yeah, are they going to take the same routing?
They have not at all up until this point.
And finding a key, Asazas will continue right. Will Fred do the same? He is. One room difference here. And with the same routing, it's really all gonna come down to execution.
Yep.
I suppose unless one of them goes full right, but who goes full right?
It's never full right. Gauntlet's gonna be a thing.
Hey, there are boots. And the Cane of Burna, which we really don't need at this point.
Yeah, you don't see many safety cane strats on Ganon.
So chest 8 is a small key, 9's a heart container.
Butter sword?
And yeah.
There it is.
Wow. Okay.
And as
So both of our runners should have Butter Sword.
Fred is gaining some time.
Congratulations to Johnny Boy, as well as Uniformed Plebe, Andy Montana, and Wild. Johnny Boy has also taken the lead overall on our leaderboard with that.
Fred lost time in that room by a little bit. And let's see how this gauntlet is gonna gauntlet.
Yeah, Saza's definitely gaining here. He's already in the third room of Gauntlet, and Fred hasn't even gone upstairs yet.
With those last two checks up Dark Death Mountain, I think I saw chat say we had a 17-second difference.
But even so, I think Fred's lost a bit of time in GT because they were only one room apart in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Asaza's having some trouble with Lanmos here, but with a Butter Sword, it doesn't take too much to get them down. Oh yeah, and Fred boomeranging that heart reminded me we did not see Powder, so...
Or mushroom.
I think we have some stuff in bottles, but, yeah, the runners are going to have to watch their health a bit.
Slightly better Landmo. But that gauntlet didn't treat Fred very well.
No,
The most satisfying room in the game. Get to see it twice, right back to back.
But they're basically a floor apart at this point.
No safety checks. Nobody cares about silvers.
And we did find enough keys in the basement that we don't have to kill a mini Helma.
Okay, little hold up here on Asaza's side.
Just takes 2 slashes with gold. Fred had just enough magic to get through. Oh, he is doing checks, huh? And not turning up anything. Yeah, I think at this point, unless Asazas takes a Ganon Fall or has some Aga 2
Fred.
problems. He's got it.
So knowing that these last chests, well, this chest isn't silvers.
Okay. Yeah, Fred's screen is a bit choppy, but...
It was the mass bombs. Too much bomb input. I think overall, asazas had a quicker tower, quicker climb.
Yeah, I would agree, and he didn't have a half-bad Aga 2 either. Well, apparently a
It could have been
5-cycle,
better.
according to chat. Yeah. So Fred can get a 4-cycle, or even a 3-cycle, he might make up some time. I think that was a double to start.
2-1.
Oh, nice. 3-cycle. So that makes up quite a bit of time for Fred. Still probably
Great
not
triple.
enough.
Depends on what strats we see here on the Ganon fight. Seconds matter.
Yeah, and we're clearly gonna see a 1-1 for the first 2 cycles with the Butter Sword. Asazas, did you have to do the fast heart beeping?
And we have 3 bottles. I know one of those bottles is a fairy. But that fairy screen...
Hey, we'll find out where the silvers were.
My tower.
Ah! And since Fred did all the upstairs checks, it must have been in the half of the basement we didn't see. So 12 spin attacks is what it'll take. I think we're up to about 5.
I'm kind of hoping to see it. I want to see the death. I want to see the fairy, and that should sync it up like hand in hand.
Oh, Fred doesn't get the torch glitch, and he falls.
No.
Oof.
Cut and neck up until the finish. F's in chat. And now we're going to have a totally different Ganon fight.
Yeah, but meanwhile, get your GGs in for Asazas. Well fought on both of these runners' parts. I mean, such different routing, and it came so close. And Asazas crosses in first with an official race time of 1:20.34. And Fred is gonna finish off his Ganon fight, even though he's presumably saw Asazas dot done.
He's got to finish it out. He's earned it.
So the funny thing is, given the standings in the group, Asazas has to root for Fred in a few hours when he faces Big Dunka, because if Dunka beats Fred, Dunka would clinch the second spot, and Asazas would be eliminated. And also having lost to Asazas, Fred beating Dunka is the only way to keep his own hopes alive as well.
And we're going to try to get an after-race interview.
Yeah, they are also doing interviews in Spanish, so I'm not sure what their plans are for which language they're doing first.
Well, I cannot wait to talk about it. I don't know if you could have more different paths and routes that our racers took to end up in the tower climb at the exact same time.
So there we go. Exploding Ganon. Sword up. And Fred crosses the bridge with an official race time of 1:22:35. So 2 minutes, 1 second after Asazas, and that's despite the Ganon fall, which shows you just how quickly he went through that Ganon fight the second.
Man. We do have both racers in the waiting room. I think we're going to get ours first. We are going to take a quick ad break, though, but don't go anywhere because we are doing our interview coming right up. Thanks for your patience with those ads. We're getting our runners in here right now to start our post-race interview.
And it looks like we have fcoughlin in here. I guess Asazas is doing a Spanish interview first, but GG's Fred.
Fred.
Thank you. That was a race.
That was a...
Yeah, sorry
in my
about that
opinion,
Ganon fall.
This was one of the most exciting races we've seen. You guys had two totally different paths and routes, yet you did the climb at the exact same time, and at one point were like frame perfect. The fall didn't help. The chests on the Dark Death Mountain climb put us a few seconds behind, but all in all, that was fantastic to watch. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for calling him. It was a great race. Asazas did a beautiful job playing. Definitely has the executional advantage over me, which is part of my hunting at the very end there. Hoping, actually, I had seen Asazas against Yagamoth the other day. I won't officially give spoilers, but I will say that on the climb, one of them found silvers, one of them passed it because they were trying to go faster, and that may have made a difference on the final fight. So it was one of those things. I knew Asazas was going to have me. If Asazas was ahead, then the silvers, if they happened to be on the way up, would have been great.
See, I don't think execution on Asaz's part was it. He Galaxy Brain played left and right. He got the mirror first thing. He got a hook shot first thing. The execution on your side is what kept you in the race, and that's what kept it so close. Everything was just so much fun to watch.
So it was a blast to see, especially when I looked over at the time as I was, I finally killed Ganon, and I saw that Asazas had finished, and I did the math. I was like, oh gosh, this would have been incredibly close without the fall. I was like, okay, at least this will give everyone a good show.
Going up to Ganon's tower, it was frame perfect. You were doing the exact same hook shots over the bridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys were totally in sync crossing the bridge at the bottom of Death Mountain.
And coming from totally different dungeons. So what did you think when you last location that mirror?
Well, at that point, I wasn't sure what it was going to be. I wasn't sure if it was going to be Lamp. I wasn't going to sure. As I said, I just wasn't sure at all. Sometimes I put off the Hyrule Castle, especially if logic leads me other places. And when I saw that, I knew Asazas probably had that early. And then I went up top and I found the fire rod and said, okay, I'm going to hope hookshot's in one of those dungeons. I just wish I'd gone a little further down the mountain, like literally one chest further. And then that would have been a little bit different there at the end. Yeah,
I'm guessing you just kind of figured when you got the fire rod that, okay, that opened 2 more dungeons, I'll do them. Was that basically your thinking?
Exactly. It opened ice. It opened 3 for me because I didn't have the lamp. Because the lamp, I guess, may have been in, I think Asazas was saying it may have been a hookshot cave or something, but I didn't have lamp. I didn't have, so I couldn't do desert, Skull Woods, or Ice Palace. All 3 got opened. And I said, if the hookshot's, just numbers, hookshot being in any of those is good. And even if it's not there, it's, beating 3 dungeons and making progress as opposed to possibly wasting time just checking random chests. And so once I finished all 3 and then got Bombos and Ice, I said, 2/3 of a chance of Turtle Rock.
Well, actually,
okay, that's where we gotta go back.
You hadn't finished Desert at that point. You even, I think you'd gotten both items though, so I'm guessing that's what.
Yeah, I mentally checked that as a thing. As I said, I couldn't actually finish Desert, but Desert would have technically unlocked 5-6, so I could have taken that to Pyramid Fairy at that point too. That was another thing. It was like kind of in the back of my head, but I also knew it was like a long time frame for 2 chests, and I said Death Mountain's got a little bit more density at that point.
That's what we were afraid you were gonna do, because we knew where the hookshot was, and we were afraid you were gonna do Desert and do Pyramid Fairy and lose time that way. And the other thing that was saving you was Asazas didn't want to go into Skullwoods period without Fire Rod, and we are joined by Asazas at the now. GG's.
Oh, hello. Sorry for the.
That was the true path divergence. Asazas got the hook shot early, the mirror early, but didn't want to go into Skull Woods to get that book, because we all know now that the fire rod was on that tablet, where when Fred, you got that fire rod, you just immediately zoomed through everything else and caught up immediately.
Yeah, great play though, Asazas. That was a fantastically fun matchup there, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of expected it to be this way. Like pretty much every single race in this tournament is somewhat expected to be this close. When the skill level is so high by everyone, it just comes down to the little things, and most likely it's a tight race to the end, which is amazing.
And you had those Galaxy Brain plays throughout. We were telling Fred before you got here that up until the very end, it was frame perfect up that Dark Death Mountain climb. You guys were screen and screen.
Yeah. I mean, it could have swung to either side. It's just almost every race feels almost like a coin flip. Not in a bad sense, but when no one makes any big mistakes, it just comes out to who makes the correct play which is not necessarily the good play, or I mean, there are a lot of good plays, but usually only one correct play in these games. That makes it exciting as well.
I mean, to start off, you took quite the lead because you did the south side. Besides getting the mirror early, you also did the south side of Dark World as your first Dark World place and got all the items out of there. And so you were able to immediately route in Smith Chain, for instance. And so it looked like you might even run away with the match, and then you didn't get the book, and that gave Fred just enough time to catch up. So it was really great on both of your parts.
To the untrained eye, Asazas, you had the early lead, and it wasn't until that fire rod in the book in Skull Woods that it truly flipped a switch. So it was the comeback story that we all wanted to see, and then that tower climb race. I don't think this race could have been any better.
Yeah, probably if I got the book, then probably could have shaved a few minutes of the round for sure. But I mean, it's almost impossible to route every single item in one go. Because I mean, you kind of have to take risks. If you check Skullwoods, it's a risk. If you don't check it, it's also a risk. And that can be said for any location.
So how are you guys feeling about the tournament so far? You're kind of in an interesting situation where both of your hopes now lie on Fred winning out, and in particular beating Big Dunka this evening.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm going to do my best for you either way. Hopefully it will be so that way I get a rematch against you and with Dunka at some point tomorrow. But either way, I'm still going to try to give you the chance to have a one-on-one against Dunka. We'll see, obviously, how it plays out, but I'm going to just do the best I can. I'm fighting for the tournament life here at this point, so I got to do everything I can to try to get through.
And I'm sure we'd
rooting for you.
We'd all love to see a three-way tie and a three-way playoff tomorrow.
Absolutely. And we can only pray that it's a PED seed, a PED and AGA seed.
Are you trying to curse me?
It's what the chat wants.
Well, if that's what the chat wants, maybe.
And with lots of bombs. I mean, we were feeling sorry for all the NPCs you bombed, though.
If you haven't noticed, I'm in the link to the Past Randomizer League, and our team is called the...
But thanks again to both of our runners. Good luck going forward. I hope to see you guys in a three-way playoff tomorrow.
Great race again, Asazas. Hopefully, as I said, we get to, hopefully, no matter what happens today, I'll try to at least give you life for tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll give myself enough life, too, to be able to join in and, make our group at least one more massive fight. But again, thank you to the Restream team. Thank you to Drazi and Cools here for doing commentary. And again, thank you to SpeedGaming in general for putting this on. It's been a fantastic event. I'm having a ton of fun. And, we're going to just keep fighting here.
Absolutely. We're rooting for you guys. Best of luck.